And we are on, guys. Oh my god. I swear to god, I think I spent like pretty good 10 minutes trying to set up the tripod and for you guys to see my face, see the painting. The lighting is okay, so there was a lot of things going on here. Anyways, hi, happy Saturday. I am excited to be here and share with you live. If you have any questions and you want to leave any comments, we can interact with each other much easier than me seeing your comment like a week later. I mean, I'm lying. I'm seeing it like literally in 2 seconds all the time. Anyway, so today I'm gonna use high flow acrylic from Golden, and then I'm gonna use a mix of alcohol inks from Piñata, Rangers, and different brands. I'm gonna leave you the colors below, so that way you can see what I'm using with them. What? Oh, I'm alive. I'm live. I cannot edit this, so if I make mistakes and I just make a disaster of this video, please forgive me. I'm using 99% alcohol. It has to be 99%, and the reason why is if you use below 90%, you can even do 91, but anything below 90 is going to contain water and it's not going to flow as nicely as you want the alcohol ink to be, because when you will see me, I mix my high flow acrylic with water and alcohol ink, and that takes a little bit to dry. So that's kind of like the effect that I try, that I like to add on my painting. So I have my alcohol prepared here. I have a bunch of pipettes, and the reason why I like to have this many is because once I'm working with it touch, and then once it touch, this is the color that I'm gonna keep using this pipette for. Like if I'm using blue, it's gonna be the blue pipette, and if I'm using green, it's gonna be the green pipette. So I also have a bunch of like small little paper towels cut here next to me, because it's about to get messy. Just saying, it's gonna be like a thing. All right, so what I like to do before I start working, this is actually a big question that I have been getting a lot, and is what do I prep my canvas with before I use the alcohol ink? So I like to use kilts, and I'm going to show you in a second. This is great, and let me tell you something very important. You can find it on Home Depot or any homeware store, but you have to make sure that it's water-based. Hello, that is water-based, because if you buy the red one is actually oil-based, so it's not going to be compatible with your alcohol and acrylics, so it's going to make a big mess. But this one over here is perfect. I have been using it for like the past 4 or 5 years, and it's just amazing. Even though I like my canvas to have like textures and stuff, I still have that smoothness because I like to sand it before I do anything, so it feels like the Jupo paper, like the synthetic paper. So yeah, so I just gonna start. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but one thing for sure is that I'm gonna paint, and you guys are gonna watch. Something that have been in my mind all these past days, it's like do you remember, I don't know if most of you watched my video about, right now I'm just shaking my brasa gold, otherwise it's gonna stay right on the bottom here and it's not gonna do anything. It's gonna be just a disaster. So I like to give it a little nice shape. All right, so I'm just gonna open my alcohol inks very quick before I start working, so that way they are all opening here. I'm telling you, I never go live, and this is a first for me. Normally I make a mess, and I promise you I will try to do my best and show you a very smooth process, but I won't promise anything. I will try, okay? So I have this big one over here, and I like to use this container here and the pipette and just like pour it in here, and I don't have any idea. This is just like to get my details when I want to move a small like little inks here and there, but I like to use the big one when I know that I want to do a big base. So I have in my mind for a long time now about doing some kind of like tulip kind of like feel. So it's gonna be like green, bluish aqua, and I'm gonna have like that amazing super strong magenta in the middle. So this is what I'm going for. So anyway, so I'm gonna just pour this just like this, okay? And I can use my hand with the alcohol, there's no problem. Once the ink is there, please don't do this, it's gonna be a disaster. And then your ink is gonna be on your hands for a very long time. All right, so I'm gonna start with Mermaid. This is a very pretty aqua, and I will just like do a small little line, and then I'm gonna come with my blower. This is like very easy to find on Amazon, on any art store, and I just gonna move the ink around. And this is where I come and I use my pipette, is to make that, because remember, this is not a synthetic Jupo paper that is meant for watercolor. It's not a watercolor canvas, it's a regular canvas that I prime with my quilts over here, the nice primer, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna move the same. So just give me a second, I'm gonna open my window because I don't like the smell of alcohol and ink. It's like very toxic. That's something that you wanna keep in mind. It's like try to keep your space nice and open, airy, and if it bothers you too much, you can wear a mask. I like to wear my mask when I'm using the heat gun, but I'm not using the heat gun today, so I'm okay. So then I'm gonna use Pool. And I'm gonna use a little bit more of my alcohol over here, like lots. I'm using a lot. Like literally all of this, it will be used in this piece today. And then I'm gonna put a little bit more of this, and then I just gonna get, and this is what I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm gonna use my pipette as my tool to move it around and play around with the ink to see where I want it, and just make movement on my paintings. Okay, sometimes you can let the ink do his own thing. I think it's very sexy to see the painting do their magic without you pushing it too much. And then, and this is what I'm gonna use watermelon. I'm gonna use watermelon right over here. It's gonna get very dark once it mixes with the green aqua, but trust me, it's gonna be all right. So I'm gonna do a little bit separate from the line of my blue. And again, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna use my pipette and put more alcohol, and then I'm gonna come, I'm gonna blow it, but I also wanna come, wait, that was the wrong one, I need a new one. With my pipette and just do something cool, something different, because remember, this is intuitive art. You don't know what's happening, what's gonna be the next step. Remember, I have tulips in my mind. This doesn't look like tulips at all, but once this is all background is dry with my alcohol ink, that's when I come and hello guys, that's when I come and I do my acrylic paint, and I start probably creating some tulips to make it more solid. But the background I can do whatever I want. I think I might just move the canvas a little bit over here, just mixing the inks. Remember what I mentioned, this part in the middle is gonna get very, very dark. That's totally fine with me. Just remember, you wanna keep your primary colors in mind, otherwise it's gonna be messy. And then I'm just moving it up and down, just making everything look more like a watercolor look, because that's what I'm aiming for. All right, so I have my high flow white over here. I'm gonna use maybe some up here. I'm gonna create some kind of something. I don't know. I'm just working toward seeing something cool. So what's gonna happen, these high flow acrylics gonna mix with the white. It's gonna give you like very cool effects. I wish you guys can be very close to see this, but don't worry, once the video is done, I'm gonna upload it so you guys can see it. I'm probably gonna do some editing so it's not so boring, because that's one of the things with this type of painting. You need to be patient. It's not like it's just get the canvas, go wild, and voila, your painting is done. This one just needs a little bit more of attention, a little bit more of love. And this is what I'm doing right now. It's like when you have your favorite dish. You want to make sure it tastes good, you know, like it's like awesome. All right, so I'm gonna get my copper. I'm just gonna put a little bit, like literally just a tiny bit, or maybe I change my mind. I'm gonna use my favorite powder from Karat collection. This thing, guys, is like, it is gold, but it's actually gold for my paintings when I use alcohol. Inks, I better specify that. Okay, so I'm just gonna get a little bit and just go around here. So what's gonna happen is it's gonna float right on top of the alcohol, because this pigment, if you don't mix it, I'm not sure you guys gonna see this, but once I blow it, it's gonna move around. Very beautiful. And this is my best tool right here. I see a lot of artists out there, they love to blow it with their breath, but I'm sorry. I'm not there yet, so me breathing on the paintings is not for me. Anyway, so I wanted to mention something while I'm finishing this piece. So what I'm doing is just blowing and blowing and spreading the ink and mixing it with the high flow acrylic. Like the effects and the colors are beautiful. Like honestly, obsessed. Like I love it. So what I wanted to share for a long time now is I don't know if you guys remember a video that I posted before a year ago about me leaving my 9-to-5 job to become a full-time artist. Let me say, after 7 months, it was awesome, and then I was worried a little bit because I was feeling very lonely at home. My husband is at home, but he's always working on a conference call. So I was pretty lonely. All of my friends were alone, and I was like, okay, so is anybody available to talk to me? And me personally, as an artist, I need to talk to people. So right now I'm just adding more alcohol. Right, I'm just trying to tell you a story of what happened, why I went back to work, to my nail salon, and what happened during that period while I'm trying to teach you what to do with the painting. But if you guys can manage with me, that would be awesome. So what I'm trying to do is like doing a little bit more of blur, like a blur, blur, you know what I'm saying, trying to make it more wash out. And that's what I'm trying to do in here at the bottom here. So once I spread all of the alcohol, I am gonna use a very deep blue. So I have it here because I knew I'm gonna use it. So I'm just gonna add a whole straight line like this. I'm gonna put it back in here so I don't make a mess. And then I'm gonna come and I'm gonna put more of my alcohol. To be honest, I'm gonna put a lot of my alcohol. And then I'm gonna move it up slightly. And then this way. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to mix the alcohol base with the ink without interrupting this area over here, right? And then I'm gonna come with this and very gentle, I'm gonna mix and open up this beautiful sky. I'm gonna call it a sky for now because it's very deep and I'm loving it. But remember, we're trying to keep everything nice and flowing and chill because I'm gonna paint acrylic on top of this, right? So you don't want to make it too heavy and make it a little bit stuck. At least that's how I feel. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna flip the painting completely straight this way and let it just roll. Okay, and then I'm gonna put it right down and I'm gonna put it all the way right away. And I'm gonna let that ink do the magic. And then I'm gonna move it a little bit over here and a little bit over here. And now I will come again to do some fixings with my blowers. So the blowers will make everything stay where you want to stay. You know, removing some lines that you don't want. Like for example, this one's in here, I don't want this. I can use more of my white and a little bit more of my alcohol. And then just move everything around, relaxing. You're not going anywhere, nobody's going anywhere. This is time for you to relax and enjoy the piece. Anyway, so what I was trying to say about after 7 months, I was like, okay, I don't think I can stay home any longer. This is like crazy. I was going crazy. I was getting depressed. I didn't have nobody to talk to. And I was like, okay, I don't think the artist life is something for me. I love painting, but I don't like to be totally alone, like a 24/7 kind of thing. It's not something for me. Like I can't. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I am going to flip my camera. It's going to be pretty messy, but I'm going to flip it because I want you guys to see what I'm doing. It's going to get very messy. Just stay with me. Okay. I'm going to flip this very quick. Don't panic. I am back, like right here. Okay, I'm gonna flip you this way. And then maybe I'm gonna flip it this way. Oh my God, what a terrible live video. I love it. I'm actually gonna leave it. I'm not even gonna do anything anymore. All right, so I think we are pretty close to the painting now, and you guys can see much better. Enough of my face. I want you guys to see the effects that I'm gonna make right now. All right, so over here, remember we did the, we did a high flow, so I'm gonna put more because I want this part over here to be a little bit light, and then I'm gonna put my ink and I'm gonna mix all of that. A little bit more of my alcohol, and you can see when you put alcohol, it moves. It's just like something super awesome that I really enjoy to watch. And then I just gonna move with my blower. I'm not making a wave. It's not what I'm aiming for, but it's starting to look something like it. Anyway, so I'm back working at the nail salon for like part-time, and I'm actually enjoying. I get to see people and talk to people 3 days a week there, and 4 days here on my studio. They are perfect because I get to have 2 days off, which is nice. So it wasn't a thing for me, so I decided that my artist life definitely needs to have a social life. Like I know a lot of artists out there, they enjoy being alone, but it's not something for me. So I'm gonna put a lot of my alcohol over here, okay? A lot. And then I just gonna blow this blue with the alcohol all the way out because I want it to blend nicely to leave me a small little mark, not too much. I just want that pastel blue sky to be mixed with the whole situation over here. This is my first time live here on YouTube, guys. I am very nervous trying to talk and not boring you with this type of work, but I just find that it's easier this way. If you find my video, if I'm alive, of course I'm alive. If I'm live, you guys can see, right? So, all right, so now that all of this is like this, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna use a little bit more of my red. I'm gonna put a little bit over here, because remember, I'm trying to make sure that I have those kind of like tulip style, that they're gonna be mingling here and there. But at the same time, I'm gonna paint the tulips either way after with acrylics. So this is just gonna be a background, which is fine. And then I'm gonna just drop some of my alcohol with my pipette over here, just to make that ink move nicely. Okay, just little by little, don't go crazy. And it's gonna just naturally give me some form of flowers. You actually look closely, hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Oh my god, I swear to god, I have been like slacking with videos lately, like I'm the worst. I had to figure out this video situation so I can provide you with better outcomes over here with this video. Anyways, I just love this in here right now. It's gonna be my amazing red tulips. And then I'm gonna come with a little bit of my green, and I'm gonna make this bottom here a little bit more deeper with green. Okay, this one is Emerald from Copics, and I'm just gonna have a line right there. And then I'm gonna come with my pipette. Okay, remember, we're trying to make like a garden thing. But then I'm gonna use a little bit of my white here and there, because I want this to be not too strong as well. I want it to be a little bit more wash out, right? Because I'm making this as the stems. So once this is dry, I'm gonna use this area over here to make the stems. I probably do like a small little stamps here and there. So trying to figure out my background with the ink and making sure that is something that is gonna work with me in the future. Like for example, I did these red lines here because I want them to look like beautiful either poppies or red tulips, some kind of floral, and it's gonna look cool. All right, so I'm gonna use a little bit more of my alcohol in here so I can blend this a little bit more to make it a little bit more lighter. If you're new to my channel and you just found me by mistake, guys, I am working toward a nice schedule to be live every Sunday for you guys and sharing my tutorials, and hopefully I figure out this video situation, so the position, because I literally terrible at it. So right now I'm just, this is the slow process of the whole entire thing. It's like trying to make the background with the inks and acrylic, and then you have to let it dry, otherwise you won't be able to spray it. And that's another thing that I want to talk to you about. It's like very important. You have to make sure that you spray your inks at least 3 times before you use acrylics. Why? Because the ink doesn't dry if you don't use a fixative. So if the fixative is not there, you try to do some daisies, for example. They get very pink or blue or green, whatever color, whatever area you put it, and it's gonna make the ink is gonna go through. So yeah, you don't want that. So I'm gonna make this area over here a little bit more lighter. And I'm gonna use my paper and I'm gonna move it back and forth just a little bit before I use my, I try to move it in here and see what I get. Just like one random thing. I want the background to be like, you know, we did something with it, not just like the ink doing his job. All right, so then I'm just gonna blow it one more time and I'm gonna just move it where I want to. Anyways, I am so happy that you guys are watching this. And if you have any questions at all, just leave them in the comment. And if you found me after the stream live is done, welcome to my channel and I hope you enjoyed this. It's going to be a second part for the acrylic floral on top of this background, so stay tuned, subscribe so you get that notification right on and you don't miss out what I'm going to do next. Thank you so much for watching. Before I actually go, I want to thank you for an amazing 3,000 followers. And I also want to mention that I delete once more my reels, my shorts are not productive for what I'm trying to do with my channel. What I'm trying to do with my channel is provide you things that I like to do in a long video. I don't like shorts. I have Instagram. If you want to see my short videos, you can follow me, abstractor dash CO. You can find all of my shorts there. But here I want to focus on talking, engaging, and just being connected with the real world. So right now, this is what I'm seeing. So right now, I'm going to leave this to dry. So once this is dry, I'm going to give you a close-up before I actually finish the video so you can see the background that I create, trying to think about something like I was thinking about florals and red tulips and greenery and summer and the ocean. So there was a lot of factors in my mind. So I put all the colors together. But remember, this is going to be just the background. After this is dry, I'm going to use Krylon spray. So it's a special fixative for watercolors and alcohol inks that they are very important before you start using your acrylics. So it's this one over here. You can find it at Walmart. This one has very, very a strong fixative. So once you use this on the ink, you move forward to use your acrylic. So that's what we're going to do next. I'm going to just take the foam in my hand. I want to show you a close-up just because I am cool. And you can see my face. Oh my God, it's hot in here. Woo! Well, this is my first live. I think went pretty well. I'm gonna show you what this looks like so far. So this is my idea. We have over here. So remember, none of this needs to be in here because once you use this spray over here, you should be fine to add your white acrylics and do some subtractions and just removing things that you don't want. But I'm loving the effect that I just get over here because I'm gonna get my red tulips over here and I have some gold, which is amazing. So all this is just a background. So I just spent 30 minutes making this background and talking live with you guys. And I am very, very grateful that you watch it. And if you didn't watch, this is totally fine because I know people on Sundays are busy, but they are the best days for me to provide for you guys as a long term. So I think that's what I'm going to do from now on is I'm going to go live on YouTube. I'm gonna stream all of my videos. So if someone found me out there, like I was actually looking around and there is not a person painting live, like at least not here in Canada. I haven't seen anybody, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I might be the first one, but it was hard. Like, it was pretty hard. So I'm trying to figure out the position for the video so you guys can see better, but also see me when I'm talking, so that way it doesn't feel weird. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the second part of this, and it's gonna be next Sunday live. Bye for now.